President Joe Biden's announcement sent shockwaves through the nation. He would not seek re-election in 2024. The decision marked the end of an era. It also created a wave of uncertainty. The Democratic Party needed a new leader. All eyes turned to Vice President Kamala Harris.
Harris, a former senator and attorney general of California, had a long history in public service. Many saw her as a natural successor to Biden.
But the road ahead would be challenging. Despite the uncertainties, there was a sense of hope among Democrats. Harris represented a new generation of leadership. She was the first female vice president. Could she unite the party and lead them to victory? The Democratic Party quickly coalesced around Harris. Prominent figures lined up to endorse her. Former rivals offered their support. The party was eager to present a united front. They knew a divided party would be vulnerable in the upcoming election.
Donations poured into Harris's campaign coffers. Volunteers signed up in droves. The energy surrounding her candidacy was palpable. Democrats were hungry for a win after a challenging few years. They believed Harris was the one to deliver it.
However, not everyone was entirely on board. Some Democrats expressed concerns about Harris's ability to connect with working-class voters. Others questioned her stance on certain policy issues. These dissenting voices were relatively quiet, but they highlighted the challenges Harris would face in uniting a diverse and often fractious party. Kamala Harris's candidacy was a watershed moment in American history. If elected, she would shatter multiple glass ceilings. She would be the first female president of the United States. She would also be the first black president and the first Asian American president. Her victory would be a testament to how far the country had come.
Harris's background as the daughter of immigrants added another layer of significance to her candidacy. Her story resonated with many Americans who saw themselves reflected in her experiences. She represented the promise of the American dream.
However, Harris's historic candidacy also brought unique challenges. She faced the weight of expectations from multiple communities. She also confronted the reality of racism and sexism in America. Her every move would be scrutinized. Her opponents would not hesitate to exploit any perceived weakness. Section 4, The Challenges Ahead, Navigating a Divided Nation. The 2024 election promised to be one of the most consequential in American history. The country was deeply divided. Political polarization was at an all-time high. The very foundations of democracy seemed to be at stake.
Harris would need to navigate this treacherous landscape with skill and determination. She would need to articulate a clear vision for the future. She would need to inspire hope in a nation weary of division and strife.
The economy was also a major concern. Inflation was high, wages were stagnant, many Americans were struggling to make ends meet. Harris would need to convince voters that she had a plan to address these economic anxieties. Section 5, The Political Battlefield, Key Issues and Demographics. The 2024 election would be fought on key issues. Healthcare, climate change, gun control, and immigration were major points of contention.
Harris needed clear positions on these issues. She had to persuade voters her positions were in their best interests.
Demographics played a crucial role. The electorate was increasingly diverse. The youth vote was growing in importance.
Harris needed to connect with key constituencies. She had to convince them she was the candidate of change.
Section 6, A New Dawn, The Potential Impact of a Harris Presidency. A Harris presidency would have far-reaching implications for America. It would represent a dramatic shift in American politics. It would also send a powerful message to the world about the values of the United States.
Domestically, a Harris presidency would likely lead to significant policy changes. She would likely prioritize issues such as healthcare, climate change, and social justice. She would also likely appoint more women and people of color to positions of power.
Internationally, a Harris presidency would likely signal a return to multilateralism. She would likely prioritize diplomacy and cooperation over confrontation. She would also likely work to restore America's global standing. Only time would tell what a Harris presidency would hold. But one thing was certain, it would be a presidency unlike any other in American history.